Yo, what is good, folks? It's your boy Sports PSP in the building. Hope everyone's enjoying a fantastic day. Look, last weekend was my birthday, and even though it was tough because my Oklahoma Sooners got embarrassed by the number one team in college football, the Texas Longhorns, and even though yesterday that my Washington Commanders lost to the Baltimore Ravens, nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, was worse than the Dallas Cowboys. They got embarrassed yesterday against the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions won 47-9. The fourth worst loss at home in team history for the Dallas Cowboys. The worst loss since Jerry Jones purchased the team back in 1989. The Dallas Cowboys, they are 0-3 at home this season. It was that bad, man. I mean, it was so bad. Offensive linemen from the Detroit Lions were looking like wide receivers. They were running laterals, plays for them. And for Dallas, how much worse could it get, man? I mean, I'm looking at it right now. Jared Goff, 18 to 25, 315 yards, 3 touchdowns, a QBR 71.3, along with 153.8 passer rating. Detroit executed their game plan, which is ground and pound with David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. Detroit had 184 yards rushing, which also set up play action, allowing Jared Goff to have enough time in the pocket to make the types of throws. Now, look, Dallas Cowboys, we can talk about the injuries. No Micah Parsons, no DeMarcus Lawrence, no Deron Bland, no Kendricks. But this Dallas Cowboys defense has been bad. And 0-3 this season at home. They have not won a home game this season in the past 4 games at home, including the playoffs last year and the 3 games at home. They're 0-4. Dallas Cowboys, I'm sorry. Jerry Jones, and the culprit for all of this is one Jerry Jones. He is responsible for the Dallas Cowboys' downfall. He really is. And no one could be having a worse feeling than Jerry Jones to lose the way that you did, 38 points at home. And oh, by the way, the day on your birthday. If that is not humiliating, then what is? Jerry Jones, man, is sick to his stomach right now. He was asked in his press conference about the head coaching change, if he was going to fire Mike McCarthy and go with an interim head coach. Jerry's like, I'm not considering it. Jerry is not going to hire a new head coach. He's going to keep Mike McCarthy. And look, McCarthy's under his final year of his contract. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Mike McCarthy remains as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys because of Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones likes him. Now, look, there's a possibility they could get Bill Belichick because Bill Belichick is off the market, something that the doctor ordered. But I don't know if Bill Belichick is the right type of head coach for the Dallas Cowboys because of one concern, Jerry Jones. Yes, he's the type of head coach that will tell the players, DYJ, do your job. But I don't know if I don't know if Bill Belichick is the right type of guy to handle the Dallas Cowboys as long as Jerry Jones running the show. If Jerry Jones was not the owner, general manager, and president of the Dallas Cowboys, then I think they should hire Bill Belichick. But because Jerry is there and because Jerry wants to run the organization as he sees fit, I'm sorry. I just don't see any head coach, especially one of Bill Belichick's pedigree or credentials, to be a part of the Dallas Cowboys. And I got to say this with Dak Prescott. Look, Dak Prescott had a bad game. All of this was not on him, but Dak Prescott, in my opinion, and Cowboy fans, Dak fans may not like me saying this, but it needs to be said. Dak Prescott made a huge mistake re-signing with the Dallas Cowboys. Because other than the Dallas Cowboys, America's team, the star on their helmet, other than the Cowboys, allure, the fans, the aura, Texas, a state with no income taxes, and of course the money, making him the highest paid player in the National Football League, Dak Prescott put himself in a terrible situation because there's no guarantee, there's no chance that the Dallas Cowboys are going to win anything. They're not. He's not the quarterback that's going to get the Dallas Cowboys to the promised land. Not while Jerry Jones is the owner and operator. In my opinion, Dak Prescott should have entered free agency heading into 2025. And the team that I would have loved to see Dak Prescott play for is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because if you're winning, and the Steelers right now, they're 4-2, and they're doing this with Justin Fields, who's now on his second team in his career. If you could take a quarterback like Justin Fields to the Pittsburgh Steelers and put him with a head coach with Mike Tomlin, don't tell me Dak Prescott can't do that. Dak Prescott made a mistake by re-signing with the Dallas Cowboys, despite being the highest paid player in the NFL, despite still remaining with the Dallas Cowboys, still being in a big market like Dallas, Texas. He made a mistake, in my opinion, because he's getting paid as the highest paid player in the NFL. And when you get paid that amount of money, you're supposed to deliver. Now, look, in fairness to him, the offensive line is depleted. I mean, he has no running game whatsoever at this point. But Ezekiel Elliott is past his prime. They missed out on the opportunity of getting Derrick Henry in the offseason, and they also missed out on the opportunity of getting a running back in the draft, like Blake Corum from Michigan. Dallas Cowboys need to clean up house. They really do. They got to clean up house. And oh, by the way, for the Dallas Cowboys, it's only going to get worse because right now they're in their bye week. Next Sunday night, the 27th, next Sunday night, not this upcoming Sunday night, but October 27th, they got the San Francisco 49ers on the road. Then on the road, they got to go to Atlanta and play the Atlanta Falcons. Then they have a home game against the Philadelphia Eagles. They have a Monday night game against the Houston Texans. They got to go on the road to face the Washington Commanders. They got Thanksgiving against the New York Giants. And then they got the Bengals. They should beat the Panthers. The Bucks, I wouldn't sneeze on the Bucks, especially with the way that Baker Mayfield has been playing. There's going to be a lot of points in that game. You got to go on the road against the Eagles on the second to last game of the season. And then you have the home game to end off the season against the Washington Commanders. There is a possibility that there's going to be big losses in that game. And those teams that I mentioned, such as the Washington Commanders, such as the Philadelphia Eagles, the Atlanta Falcons, the San Francisco 49ers, they can run the football. They can run the football. And it's only going to be it's going to be problematic for the Dallas Cowboys to overcome. So, what's the solution for the Dallas Cowboys? Do you tank the entire season? Do you tank the entire season? Even if you lose a lot of these games, should you consider tanking the rest of the season and trying to get your hands on a Travis Hunter from Colorado or getting any of these top prospects heading into this NFL draft? You're not going to get a quarterback because you already paid Dak Prescott all that money, but you got to get yourself some offensive linemen. You got to get yourself a running back. You got to get yourself another wide receiver to help out CD Lamb. Dallas Cowboys need a lot of work to do. And then the other step is, Jerry, are you going to fire Mike McCarthy? Because if you do, I believe that Jerry Jones is going to hire whoever he likes as a head coach. I do not believe that Bill Belichick will be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys because regardless if he has a relationship with the Joneses, and even though that Belichick may be the right coach because he's the type of coach, I'm sorry, that can hold the players accountable, honestly, I just don't see him going there because Jerry Jones is running the show, not Bill Belichick. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Jerry Jones hires Brandon Staley of all people as his head coach because Brandon Staley is out of a job as a head coach. And guess what? He knows defense a little bit. Jerry Jones can hire somebody that that he likes and he can tell what to do. Jerry Jones is the biggest problem for the Dallas Cowboys. Until he's no longer the owner and operator, Dallas Cowboys aren't winning anything. They're not. Dak, in my opinion, made a mistake staying with the Dallas Cowboys. I thought he should have entered free agency after this season. He may not get as much money compared to what the Cowboys are paying him, but still good amount of money. But more importantly, go elsewhere, compete, and prove people that you know what, you are a better quarterback than what you previously were with the Dallas Cowboys. Go somewhere else, Dak, and win. Dallas Cowboys also has to address what they're gonna do with Michael Parsons. That's something that they're gonna have to address as well. But there are a lot of problems with this team. Defensively, they can't stop the run. And when you can't stop the run, that just sets up play action for the opposing offenses, and they're going to pick apart that secondary. And that's exactly what you saw yesterday from the Detroit Lions. They picked apart the Dallas Cowboys. And when you look at the offense of Dallas, they can't run the football. And Dak is relying on CD, and CD doesn't have another guy who can help out outside of Tolbert to an extent. But that's about it. Dallas Cowboys at this point, they're not going anywhere. And like I said, if you look at their schedule after the bye week, they got the 49ers Sunday Night Football on the road against Atlanta. Then after that, they got a home game against the Eagles, Monday Night Football against the Houston Texans, on the road against Washington, Thanksgiving, home against the New York Giants. Then they got the Bengals. That's not going to be easy because we know that the Bengals can produce points. Then they go on the road against Carolina. They should beat Carolina. Then they got Sunday night at home against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And then their last two games of the season, they got the Eagles at the Eagles and home game against the Washington Commanders. So if you look at their schedule, it's only going to get worse. So the silver lining for the Dallas Cowboys, you may want to consider tanking the rest of the season because you're not going to win a championship with this team as presently constructed. Too many injuries on this team. Yes, I mentioned Michael Parsons is out. DeMarcus Lawrence is out. Deron Bland is out. Kendrick's been out. I'm sorry. Dallas, if I were you, if I'm Jerry Jones, I would consider tanking the rest of the season. Try getting yourself a top prospect and then focusing on the draft and something that you really need to address, Jerry, and that's free agency because you can't just rely on the draft. You got to rely on free agents and you're going to have to pay people their money. If you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, it's not going to work. But this is the problem with the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones, as long as he's running the show, you're not going anywhere. I do not believe Bill Belichick will coach the Dallas Cowboys because I think Bill Belichick is enjoying life after football. You know, he's retired now. He's relaxing. Hey, Let him live his life. He doesn't have anything else to prove. And as a matter of fact, if he goes to the Dallas Cowboys and coaches this team, and if they struggle, that's going to be an indictment on Bill Belichick. And that's going to hurt him as far as his legacy. And matter of fact, that's going to help out Tom Brady, because we've seen Tom Brady go elsewhere and win a Super Bowl. And Bill Belichick in his last years with the New England Patriots, dare I say he struggled? I mean, come on, let's think about it. I mean, he hired Matt Patricia and Joe Judge to be his offensive coordinators at one point. So, Dallas Cowboys, I think they should tank the rest of the season. Try getting yourself a top prospect with an offensive lineman, some defensive linemen. You need a difference maker, a game changer, but you got to address some needs in free agency. You need a running back. You need another wide receiver to help out CD Lamb. You need a lot of work if you're Dallas. Jerry also has to address needs in free agency. And Jerry, are you going to sit back and you going to allow people to do their job? That's what we need to know. But anyway, those are my thoughts, folks. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. It's your boy Sports PSP. Enjoy the rest of y'all day and peace.